What's up, Honan? Alright, so welcome back to the roundtable, everybody. Tonight we're going to be talking about retro games, and if Chris watched, we'll talk a little bit about the Capcom Cup that happened last weekend. I didn't get to see much of it, so I don't have much input, but I heard it was pretty good. Tonight, our guests are, of course, as I said, Chris D is here. Chris, what's up, brother?
Hey guys, how's it going?
Yay.
Good. Just heard him in the background. We have Gatekeeper Steve, Tainted Eternity. What's up, buddy?
Yeah, I've been good. Happy beer.
Good, good. Been a while. Hasn't been around for a bit. He's dad duty and all. We have Gerodius. Jeremy's back. Jeremy, what's up, man?
Not much. Family's been getting over COVID from earlier in the month.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're all healthy. It's just
good.
it was a rough month.
Good to hear. At least everyone's getting better.
Yeah.
So tonight we'll start with just talk about retro games. What's some of your guys' favorite retro games? All time.
All time?
All time. Whoever wants to go first, feel free.
Well, easily, the first one that comes to mind for me, I feel is Vice Project Doom on NES. I think it was just, the whole thing of, when I was younger, it was just the way they combined kind of a Operation Wolf kind of style with side-scrolling style, like Ninja Gaiden, and then, the Spy Hunter kind of, style. They combined all three of those in one game. And, it was, the first game, I think, where, you can duck, run, and shoot at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, I was instantly fell in love with it. The storyline is cheesy as fuck, of course. Total B movie. But, yeah. But, oh, I loved it so much. And, still to this day, every time, I feel okay, maybe I might buy a Nintendo again or something. I'm always looking for that one. Which made me, super excited when, I got my Switch Lite and looked at the little virtual console. I'm like, what the fuck is this doing here? Oh, I know I'm playing now.
Nice. I never played it. I'll have to look into it.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. The only thing is, unlike Bayou Billy, because Bayou Billy does the same thing where it mixes three genres together.
Mm-hmm.
You can't use the light gun in the shooting parts on Vice, but you can in Bayou Billy, which is weird. But I guess that's how things were made back then. Sometimes yes, sometimes no.
Jeremy, what about you, my friend?
That's a tough one. My all-time favorite, retro game.
Retro game doesn't even have to be a fighting. It's a retro game. We're just talking retro games.
Oh, I'd have to. Man,
I
I'd
know
have to
I know
say.
you like shmups, man.
I do. I do. Yeah, it's What was it? Okay, I'm brain farting here. Gunnack. It's
Dude.
my favorite game. What's the name of my favorite game? It's Gunnack. I had to turn around, look at my.
Fun story
My
about
wall.
Gunneck. I didn't know what it was until someone traded it in at the store, and I looked up the price, and I almost fucking fell over.
Right. I never knew it was anything special. I love the game because I just love that arcade shooter shmup kind of thing ever since I was a kid, because it's kind of what you had to play back in the day. But I had no idea it was a special game. I think it was something my aunt got me for my birthday. She probably got it out of the $10, $20 bin. The Super Nintendo had been out for a while, and I was the cousin that still had a Nintendo at the time. But I loved it, and then I saw, I don't know, maybe 2005, I was out of college. There was the most expensive Nintendo games, and there was Gunnack, and I'm like, no way. But no, it's a great shooter. Was it Compile that made it?
Yep.
Yep. Awesome shooter.
I remember because I looked everything up about that game. Then I took it home and played it.
Yeah, I was trying to think of what games behind me would I have no problem just picking up, and it'd probably be Gunnack, and the other NES one would be Journey to Celius. I don't know if anybody's played that.
Oh, I have played that.
Yeah, that's another good one.
Chris, what about you? Oh. Gunneck? When we had Gunneck, I think I got I think we sold it for $350. And I'm pretty sure it went up.
I think it's a $500 game now. Not even with the manual or
Yeah, just
box
the
or
card.
anything. Yeah. And the funny thing is, I wrote my name on the back of it in Sharpie.
Oh, you savage.
I was able to get it off.
You're that guy.
Bring
Well,
alcohol.
yeah,
Well, you're a
Yeah,
kid. Like,
yeah,
I did
and-
that on a couple of mine.
you go to somebody's house, everybody brings their games, their controllers. You put your initials on them so that it's easier just to sort them out. You know. Yeah.
Sure.
Also an easy back to read. What's up, Q? Chris, what about you? What's your like favorite retro game of?
What do we mean by retro?
Retro
like, how
meaning
far back?
PS1 back.
PS1 back?
Yeah, I'm gonna die on the hill that PS2 is not retro yet. You can fight with me all you want.
I hate to say it, but technically PS3 is retro
No.
now.
I will love this discussion.
Blasphemy.
That's blasphemy. I'm just
I
kidding.
don't want to admit it, but dude, we're 30. Like, it's
Stop.
time.
The
Stop.
PS2 came out 23 years
I
ago.
don't care.
It's
So
retro.
when the PS1 came out, the Atari 2600 was 23 years old.
Some kid
Yeah.
came in one day with his dad, and they were at that PS2 wall, and he said, "Dad, these are antiques," and I wanted to freak out.
I mean, it still runs like interlaced
yeah,
graphics.
no.
Yeah.
PS1 back. That's my
PS1
my
back.
restriction.
God.
Oh, you're an RPG guy. It's gotta be an RPG, but it could be a fighting game.
Well,
knowing
it's-
you.
Well, here's the thing. I didn't get into RPGs until way later. Until, like, less than 10 years ago, because when I was a kid, I hated random encounters. I could not play RPGs because I detested random encounters. So, like, when I was growing up, I knew about, like, Final Fantasy 7 and 10. Like, it was, like, you know, FF10 and stuff. Like, I couldn't play it. I'm like, no, I hate random encounters. Ew, get this away from me. And then I, like, played Persona 4, like, when I was in college, and I'm like, okay, I actually like these games. But, oh god, retro. I'm gonna... It's really hard for me to decide, because there's like a few that really stand out as my absolute favorites. If we're talking just PS1, Mega Man Legends.
Why?
That was kind of like the first like big like 3D adventure game that I played, like all the way through. I played a bunch of Crash Bandicoot Warped, but I like never really finished it. And then like obviously me like in fighting games, I'm like, oh, I didn't play any of the other Mega Man games, but here's Mega Man Legends, and I took it home and I'm like, oh my god, this is amazing. It's like the game holds up super well even today. Like I got past the tank controls, I liked all the characters. You just go around the dungeons and stuff, just shooting the Reaver bots.
Mhm.
But then, like, as I got older, like, I missed out on all the stuff because all I could do was rent games at the store. We didn't really get a lot of games.
Mhm.
Or, like, what I did buy was, like, Brunswick Bowling, Super Nintendo, or Street Fighter 2. You know, all the games I played, there wasn't much. But there was one game, now that I think about it, Kirby Superstar. That would be my favorite retro game.
Star?
Yes, that was the one. That was the one I rented a bunch at the local supermarket.
I think everybody knows mine. Said it like 8 million times.
Well, what is it?
Chrono Trigger,
Yep.
Good choice, good choice.
easy. But
That motherfucker, let me tell you, when it came out, like, I was living in Long Island, Hempstead, and, like, I was just shocked. Like, as a kid, I was shocked. Like, and I almost kind of felt bad for my dad on this one, like, 'cause he wanted to buy me a birthday present. Like, and that price tag said $90, and I said, I looked at him like, is he really gonna buy that, or is he just gonna be like, nah? Like, and he bought it. I'm like, dude, like, what? I was like, thank you, but damn. I guess it's just like, you know, cost of living was easier back then, but like, I would not do that now. Oh no. Ooh,
fair.
man.
Speaking of rentals, what
Oh,
was
what's your-
like your favorite like rental shop that you'd go to?
Oh, rental shop, just in general?
Yeah.
We didn't have anything like super cool by me, so it was really just the Blockbuster. I wish
That's
I could
fair.
say it was like a cool mom and pop thing, but it wasn't, unfortunately. But
Jeremy.
There's a video rental store in Baldwinsville, like where like the Tops is now. That area it used to be, and actually I rented Chrono Trigger and beat it by renting it, and I had to like keep renewing it probably for 3 or 4 weeks
Oh, your
in a
mom still
row.
hated you.
Well, it was cheaper than $90. Now I was allowed like
true.
one game rental on the weekend as long as I did my homework. Yeah, I rented that. I rented a lot of games from there, and they did weekly rentals, which was good. But yeah, I think it was like 3 or 4 weeks. When you think about how long that game would take without like game facts and stuff, like I grinded that.
Bonus points for you, friend. Chris, what about you?
For what?
Like your favorite rental shop as a kid?
Oh, it was 100% that supermarket. Hannaford's? Do they have any in Syracuse?
Utica.
Utica has one. Just you're from
Well,
that
yeah,
way,
no,
aren't you?
Yeah, I'm in Utica. That's what I was asking. I didn't know if there was any out in Syracuse.
No. Not that I
Nope.
know of, at least.
Yeah, it's a very local chain. So there's one in New Hartford. I live in New Hartford. It's a small little suburb of Utica. And yeah, that's where we went. We would, go to the store, and I would literally walk around and pick out like one I wanted to get. And that's also how I got into wrestling. Because they had all the old WWF VHS tapes. And I would rent like Invasion of the Body Slam or SummerSlam and WrestleMania 9. Yep, that's how I got into wrestling, and that's how I got into video games. Well, I remember, because I rented, because when I was very little, my mom borrowed her friend's NES for me to play, and the very first NES game, the very first video game I ever played was actually Karnov from the 80s.
Jeez.
oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first one I played, and then I immediately played Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt. So like I played a couple of those, enjoyed it, but never really had a console. And then like I think my parents got me an SNES, and then I went to Hannaford, and I rented, not even knowing what I was getting myself into. I rented Super Street Fighter 2, and I took it home, and that was it. That sent me on a path that I am on today.
Well, yeah.
All it takes is one bite of the apple.
Mhm. Agreed.
And then like they never had that game again, so I'm like, oh my god, what? And then they had the Genesis version, Special Champion Edition, and that I rented and somehow learned all the moves. I don't even remember how. I just learned it by osmosis. So yeah, that was 100% that local and then the store's still there.
Mhm.
But obviously they got rid of that stuff like 2002ish, and they got rid of the pharmacy that's there, so it's just like it's the pharmacy's there now.
You all out here we had a Hollywood Video. I don't know if you guys ever seen it or even know
Yep.
where it was.
Yeah, we had one. We had a Blockbuster around here.
So Hollywood
Xbox 21.
Video, we had a game craze that was connected to it.
Oh
So
god.
I cheat the system and I go to Game Craze and try a game and then just rent it from fucking Hollywood Video. Learned how to cheat the system. It was the first time I saw Dead or Alive 2 on a shelf. And I don't even know how young I was, but I was like, boobies? I gotta play this game.
Yes, boobies.
Then I became a degenerate. Being honest. So,
No worries. I was thinking there would be a topic for another one.
so, what was the first degenerate game you ever played?
Right? What was your first?
I can actually answer that, but I don't think I want to.
Okay, you don't have to. I don't expect you to.
I say Leisure Suit Larry.
Ah,
Oh yeah, I played. Yeah,
I like that
played
game.
All right. I'll
Chris is
say
like,
mine.
I got one that'll top that, like with ease.
No, it won't. It won't top it. But like, Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball 2.
It's a good game.
I had
Bro,
all three.
Bro, my
Don't
parents
feel-
got it for me for Christmas. I don't know how or why they did it, but they did it.
It's amazing.
And I'm looking at and I'm thinking to myself, you guys actually got this? I'm not gonna question it, but okay.
Alright.
That's amazing.
I'm not gonna question. My dad probably saw it and was like, bet.
Fucking jet skis, volleyball, bikinis, gambling. I'm all in. So let's shift it over. We'll a couple genres. So talk to Jeremy. Answer like the shmup, gun neck. So Chris, Steve, what would you say your favorite shoot 'em up is? Like retro shoot 'em up, if you played any.
Oh yeah, definitely. This is the hard one. It depends. Am I playing solo or co-op?
Solo.
'Cause I have a separate
Well,
category.
give me
for co-op.
both answers because I've never really played a co-op shmup. So
Okay, got it. So, for me, for just solo, I would say. For me, for some reason, it was like Life Force.
it's a good game.
Nice.
Yeah. And for co-op, like, man, Gunstar Heroes. Like, like there's no
game.
context for me. Like, it's so fun on 2-player.
I played it by myself.
Oh, if we're counting, oh sorry.
Oh, go ahead,
Oh,
Chris.
sorry.
I was gonna say if we're counting Gunstar Heroes as a shmup, then mine would be the Adventures of Batman and Robin on Genesis.
Oh. I heard that was
If we're-
good. I never tried that one.
If
when I had
we're
my-
going by that logic, I mean, like it is an actual shmup. Like,
Yeah, like a-
even though
Shmup.
even though I like the genre, there isn't a lot that I've really sat down and played and finished. Obviously, Ikaruga comes to mind.
Yeah.
Played Raiden 1 and 2 for a bit.
Raids are fun.
There was... I can't remember. Oh, because of the Mist, I was able to play Donpachi, and that was so good.
Nice.
So there's a lot, like, there's a lot I'm setting on that I just need the time and effort to get around to.
Oh, I hear there's a lot there on my list for Saturn, because, like, I'm still collecting Saturn games when I can, or at least I'd like to go back to it. I've been able to in about, like, a year and a half. So my collection's just like, bro, when are we gonna get some more siblings? When are you gonna adopt some more? I'm like,
Yeah.
I know. I gotta get a couple more fighting games that move on to the shooter now.
There's some really good shmup ports on the Switch. Like Dodonpachi is really good on the Switch. They go on sale all the time.
I see you post your pictures on like Instagram and shit.
Yeah, I haven't done that in a while. I've been,
good
like I
since
said,
once.
been busy.
Rich. So I know you like Gun Knack a lot. What would be, if that's your favorite, what's your second favorite?
Musha.
Yeah.
If we're keeping it like in the retro
Yeah.
theme, yeah, Musha. Yeah,
I think
Alesta.
that's mad expensive now.
Another expensive game, yeah.
Yeah. I have a personal backup. No, I didn't get back into shmups until stuff like that was ridiculously expensive. But like Gunnack, like I said, I had that when I was like 11 or 12 years old, when it was like a budget game essentially. Yeah.
All right. Just cut straight to the point. Favorite retro fighting game, PS1 back. Take your time thinking about it, because I know there's quite a few.
Sorry,
Which one trumps them all?
For me, it's either Mortal Kombat 2 or Killer Instinct. Those are the two I played the most from, like, I guess you could say that era.
But which one's better?
Killer Instinct, I guess. if I had to, if
I
I
guess
could
which one did
only
you play
one.
more would be the answer.
Killer Instinct, yeah.
Okay, it was great. Steve, what about you?
I want to say, if I could pick one, Last Bronx.
Last Bronx?
Over, surprisingly over Marvel vs. Capcom 1, because that used to be like my favorite of all time. But like, I like that one, the older ones. But man, that Last Bronx is something special too, though.
Is-
Like if you try that one, you have actual like arcade sticks, so you can do it properly. Oh,
so,
so good.
was Last Bronx the one with Pepsi Man?
No, that was Fighting Papers.
Okay.
Or no, yeah, Japanese version, I think.
Okay. I just remember Pepsi Man was in one of those whack ass like 3D games.
They just threw shit at the wall.
You had to
back
like
in
you had to throw the match to unlock him too. I remember that.
I remember the first time I found out Fighters Mega Mix was a thing. I was looking at Pittsburgh. What is
Dude,
this?
I didn't find out about that game until maybe like 6 to 8 years ago, somewhere in there, because I was like, the Daytona car is a fighting game character.
Right.
All right.
I gotta play this game, and then I played it, and I absolutely hated it.
Yep.
I didn't know this back then, but like I was watching a YouTube video randomly a couple months back. Apparently, someone unlocked some characters from Sonic the Fighters in one of those things. I forgot if it was Mega Mix or like the original Fighting Vipers. Like years later, you're like, what? They're in there? Wow.
Just played it for the Daytona Transformer, man.
I tried to go back to that, like just for S's and G's, but then I remembered, like, unfortunately, because the Saturns are old, even if you replace it with a new watch battery, man, like, that memory does not last. So I'm like, I can't unlock all these people and just lose all that a couple weeks from now. I know there's something else I can get that they'll just be like a SD card instead, kind of mod, soft mod kind of thing.
Hmm.
I haven't looked into it up yet because money issues.
Sure.
But what can you do?
Chris, what about you?
I'm gonna go by just what I played when I was growing up. I'm assuming that's the whole point.
Mhm.
There was a few, mostly on PlayStation, because like I said, I didn't have access to much when I was little, so it was literally just Street Fighter 2, Special Champion Edition on Genesis. But there was, when I went to PlayStation, it was like a bunch of the Versus games. I tried to get around the fact that, they had no tag modes.
Mhm.
Because you know how the PS1 versions of all the Marvel's Capcom games were. They were really bad.
Yeah.
Yep, you gotta pick the same.
Wasn't it like X-Men versus Street Fighter was like literally missing stuff?
Yes. Oh yeah, like Juggernaut, when he was his idle animation, he didn't have an idle animation. He just was just one sprite, just standing there. It was so bad. I mean, they eventually got better, but like, so there was those. There was Street Fighter EX2. I still have my copy when we got it at the mall when it was new. That one actually has my name on the manual. And the other one would be Tekken 3. Love Tekken 3.
Expected Tekken 3 to pop
The
up.
music was so. Even to this day, it just all holds up.
Yeah. Which is weird that I never really got into Tekken after that. Like, I just played, loved it, and then just went on to 2D.
I don't blame you. 4 put a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths.
I played, well, yeah, 4 was really weird. Like, I played 4 in the arcade. The cyber station we had at Sangertown Mall in New Hartford, it had everything. It had tag, it had 4, it had the big cap for 4. And 4 was just fucking weird.
Yeah, like position switch instead of left throw. Like, what is this?
But I gotta give it to Alpha 3 because of World Tour mode.
Oh, yes.
I played the hell out of World Tour mode.
Mhm.
I have to say, Hutch, that you say you can't clutch, man. That fucking round was pretty. So when was the first time you used an arcade stick outside of the arcade?
I'll go first.
Whoever wants to
Um,
go. I don't matter the order.
So it was for SF4. SF4 came out, and I'm like, whoa, oh shit, like, you know, Street Fighter's coming back. I don't have to play Halo anymore. So I was excited the game came out, and then I'm, you know, still playing on a regular 360 controller. I'm like, I can't do this. This is awful. So first, I found out that they were doing the pads, the Mad Catz pads,
Mhm.
because I saw that they had the arcade sticks, but you couldn't find them anywhere. Like our GameStop didn't have them ever. So I just had to sit on the pad. I had a Chun-Li pad for a while, and then I found out that they were doing a Marvel vs. Capcom Mad Catz stick, and that's the one that I got. I went like half on it with me and my mother. I was like still in high school. I was probably like 17. So that was the one I had. I had it for the longest time. That thing was all beat up. I wish I didn't sell it, but it was rough. Kind of needed to go. Yeah,
Fair enough.
that was the first time. It took me about 6 months to learn how to use it properly.
Okay.
And like, I can use a pad to an extent. I still have the muscle memory for my left hand, my left thumb, but my right hand, I can't play on that. Gotta play on a stick. That's why I tried Hitbox, but that's another story.
Fair enough.
With me, I used to be a pad person for the longest time until the first one I think I'd ever used was it was just shortly past PS1 era at that point. It was like PS2 at that point. I was trying to get into Soul Calibur 2, and there was this guy that worked at the arcade, real nice guy. His name was Charmer. He knew I was playing Soul Calibur all the time. Yeah, I had it at home too. And he's like, I got a stick I'm not using. If you want to buy it off me, it looked like this little small thing, but it said Soul Calibur 2 on it, so I was all excited. Like, yeah, I'll buy that off you. And it did the job for a little while until that Street Fighter stick came out, and then I was like, well, I'm gonna need a way to use this on the Xbox. I was like, wait. Just get this adapter real quick, and so, yeah, like all before that, it was just mainly pad. And I was like, you know what? All the other friends of mine use this stick. Why not? Let's try it. Pretty much.
Jeremy, what about you?
Yeah, I never really used well, other than like I guess the Atari, those kinds of controllers, a joystick until like the original Xbox. I've got it was like this small, what it was like micro switch based. It was pretty cool, and I used it to play like on older arcade fighters like the Mortal Kombat 2s and stuff like that. I had an emulator installed on the Xbox, but I also remember, I don't remember which one it was one of the King of Fighters I had on it. I can't remember which one it was. And then I also played like Metal Gear. It was like very brief. Like I probably messed around with it for a couple of weekends. But I didn't get into the sticks until fairly recently, about 2019. I got my Hori fight stick because I was having trouble playing Mortal Kombat 11. Like just doing anything on the gamepad, I was just having a lot of trouble. So I was like, you know what, let's get a fight stick. And since then, I use it forever. You've probably seen my Brook converter collection. I don't know if anybody's seen that, but I got Brook converters for like every console. So like I play almost all my games with this fight stick right now. Not just fighting games.
I've amassed quite the Brook converter collection.
Yeah, I just got one for the Dreamcast and Saturn.
Nice. I still have to
Pretty
get
cool.
one for the set.
Yeah, I don't know when they came out or how long they've been out. I just noticed them recently. I was like, oh wait, that'd be awesome. But yeah, I got them for pretty much every console now. even my PC Engine.
I wish I had one. I just borrow my bosses. Play with it.
Yeah, the Brook Converter for the Genesis works also on the PC Engine. It's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know. What are some of your like favorite memories that I don't know, accomplishment wise, I guess? Like you started this game and didn't think you'd beat it and you fucking did it and you were super proud, you were super happy that you beat it.
Oh, I got a couple of those.
I have a list.
You know,
Okay.
I got memories of
This
that.
game frustrated the shit out of you, but you just kept going. You're like, I'm gonna beat you.
Okay, first one right off the bat for me, right? When I this is gonna be so dumb. Like when I finally beat Stupid Horse, like the guy named Horse at least, like the last boss or whatever, if you want to call it in quotes, in World Class Track Meet, the World of Power Pad. Like I was not a runner when I was a kid at all. Like, but man,
You got to do the tech where you lay on the ground and you
Yeah,
just
you
hit it with your
smack
hands
it.
real fast.
right? But like I don't know, there was a montage playing in my head or something that day, so I was just like, oh, I'm beat him. And then like I did it without the cheating way that my friends would normally do it. Yeah, I'm just like, oh, after that, I'm like I want to touch this game ever again for the rest of my life, and I didn't either. I'm like, get this away from me. That was like one and done, but it took me so long. Because I was a W who actually just tried to run on the thing, and that actually backfired on me one time too. But that's a story for another day. Imagine slipping when you jump too high on the triple jump, and you slip on the power pad and you're right down, and you land right on your back. That was me.
The classic.
Yeah, it was very cartoony, man. I was out. I was just on my boy Marvin's couch for like half the rest of the day. I'm like, y'all play. I am not touching that. My back hurts. As a child, you're supposed to bounce back up and stuff like that. I was like, no. But other honorable mentions. First Ninja Gaiden.
Fuck that game.
That took for fucking ever. Oh,
I cheated. I used save states on the Nintendo Switch Online to beat that. I wasn't sitting through a one-run session on that.
And like it was so weird for me because like as a kid, it wasn't even like Jacques Rio and then like the last forms and all that. It wasn't him that was the problem for me. It was Bloody Maul. Like the most deaths I've did like on bosses in that game for some reason because like you couldn't like get away from that lightning. I'm like, you know what?
Fucking.
Oh man.
Chris, what about you?
I have a faint memory of this. I know I did it, but I don't know when and I don't know how. But when I did have the NES, I beat Mike Tyson, and I don't remember how. I just
did
know
too.
that I did it.
I don't feel clean about mine when I beat him. I'm going to admit I used the Game Genie and I won by decision.
Thank God. I did, however, I do remember I beat Super Punch Out, and I got to the end legitimately, and I beat both of the Bruiser Brothers. I finished that game completely. That I remember doing. That shit was fucking hard as shit. I hated the final circuit.
I cheated to beat.
No worries.
I feel like if I gave myself a week, I could beat him.
Do it.
007-373-5963.
If I gave myself a week and I practiced, I think I could beat him.
I want to see it.
Oh god, I just had to say
What?
something.
Yep.
Right
Yep.
now,
I was waiting for
next-
someone to say something like that. Nah, I'm kidding. It'd be cool though. It'd be a really cool little.
No, I would like to. Dude, work is killing
Oh,
me. I'm
trust me,
sick
I-
of these
I
pens.
know.
I'm so sick of them. I literally get home and I have little to no energy, but I can play SF5. I'm just playing to play at this point.
Everybody's waiting on. 6,
Yeah,
Especially after today's trailer.
but like I just don't want to stop playing and then like be rusty and then I gotta play catch up and all that.
Oh, I hear that, bro.
Still trying to be relevant. Oh yeah, did you guys know? Did you guys like that MK12 got revealed?
Yeah, through a
I
freaking
saw
financial
that.
call.
Yeah, that dude's getting fired.
Yeah.
He's
There's
not getting
fucking
fired though,
paper.
but
Insane though. I didn't think it was legit, and then it ended up being fucking legit.
oh yeah, and it's for this year.
Yeah, it's insane. They were probably gonna announce it at Evo. There's a reason why MK11 was a freaking main stage game.
That I don't know, because NRS never reveals stuff at like
Yeah, but
Evo. They always
E3.
wait for
if E3 is
Yeah,
the thing again.
yeah, E3 or the Game Awards, because it's the same thing with SF. It's the same thing that Capcom did this week. Why are you gonna announce something that you know a lot of people want to an audience of 60,000 when you can announce to an audience of 2 million?
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's why they waited, because they totally could have shown it off at the Capcom Cup, but they weren't gonna show it off at like 1 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
just
true.
do it on Sony's show. That's at like 5 o'clock in the afternoon when people get out of work, and there you go. There's way too many. There's like the stream that I was watching on YouTube. It already had 120,000 people, and God knows how many were on Twitch.
Yeah. I just clicked whatever link took me to it the fastest. Barely
Yeah.
got to watch it. But I caught what
But,
I wanted to see, so I'm happy.
But who knows? They could announce it at Evo, but
Yeah.
it just doesn't sound like something a WB game would do. Gotta remember, it's WB.
Yeah. It's very true. Suicide Squad, wasn't impressed, honestly.
I don't know. I'm happy that Rocksteady's doing something with Justice League and not just Batman.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like a third-person shooter, and it's like you have to be online,
Yeah,
even
I
on
s- I
single
saw
player.
that.
I get it because I think they're just gonna do, oh, you can connect and play with your friends whenever you want, even in the middle of single player, which is cool and all, but you should have the option to just turn that off. Anyway, we're good. Let's get back to the topic.
Fair enough. Jeremy, what about you?
Yeah, well, recently, I guess in my life, a couple years ago, I beat Zelda 2.
I've
That's an accomplishment in itself. I fucking hate that game.
I
Yeah,
can't stand that.
I hated the whole thing, but I was like, I'm gonna do it, and I have the benefit now of the internet to tell you where to go and what to do. But that was like a game that frustrated me as a child. Like it was just, I don't know, I never liked it, but I was like, I can't believe I beat this. The feather in my cap. And the other one, though not a difficult game, I would say is Final Fantasy VII. Was something that I beat as an adult, actually maybe 4 years ago. But it was like I got to Sephiroth at the end when I was a kid, and I think I just did everything wrong. And I was like, oh my god, and I just put it down, and then come around. It's like as an adult, I'm playing it, and then it was probably the easiest boss fight of any Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
So if I just did it again or just played him again, I would have been fine. But yeah, no.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh no, go on.
I was gonna say I forced myself to play it to prepare for FF7 remake, and I beat it like almost just in time.
Oh yeah, I binged it. This was during the pandemic. Actually, it wasn't 4 years ago. It was like when the pandemic hit. I took
Yeah.
up streaming as a hobby, and I streamed Final Fantasy VII, and then I did Crisis Core,
Yeah,
and
nice.
then it was didn't stream the remake, but I pretty much played that because we had our first child in the middle of that.
Did you ever play Dirge Cerberus?
No, but I picked it up. I had no idea it existed.
Yep.
I picked it up a couple years ago.
Yeah, you mentioned how easy Sephiroth is. I did the exploit to beat Emerald. Was it Emerald or what was his name? Oh my
Underwater.
god.
The weapon?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
weapons. I did the Knights of the Round exploit.
Uh,
Because I'm like, I'm doing this just to say I did it. Screw
Yeah.
this.
you see, I didn't have any of that stuff when I was back in like what 97, whenever
yeah.
it came out. Like I didn't know
Obviously.
anything about that.
Yeah, no, none of us did. But I mean, like today, that's what I did. Like when I finally played it, I'm like, I'm beating Emerald Weapon. I don't care. Screw this guy. I want to beat him. So I did that, and then I fought Sephiroth, and like you said, it was like the easiest fight ever. I'm just like, I just see him, and I'm like, am I gonna fight him legitimately? Nah, just press the button, walk away. Knights of the Round loop.
Yeah, I should have clipped it. Like just my astonishment at how quick that battle and easy it was.
Yeah.
Like I was like grinding, get my levels up. I got Knights of the Round. I didn't even use Knights of the Round. I don't think I used any of the summons like that. I like grinded to get. It was, yeah.
Ready to click on this.
All right. So talk about the positive stuff. What is your like? We'll go back to like the rental. What was your biggest rental disappointment?
What the hell was that game called?
Don't remember.
Was it? It could have. On PS1. What was that game? Was it the Grand Stream Saga?
What?
I remember
think-
vaguely.
I can't.
that
I
name.
can't. Like it was a game. I thought it was called that. Like I don't know. It was like a action RPG. I thought, but it was like so boring. Like I fell asleep while I was playing it. I'm like, no, this thing gotta go. Same day. I'm like, all right, I'm bringing it back. I just wasted $5. I apologize, wallet. But I think that's the first one that comes to mind. I'm like, why did I do that? That and like, what was the other one that I just couldn't stand? Turrican. Yeah,
Hurricane?
Turrican can go somewhere too.
Huh.
Yeah,
Like
like at least at first.
regular Turrican?
Yeah, it was the Genesis one. Mm-hmm. We're like, guess what? One hit, you're dead. The whole game. I'm like, what? What do you mean? Why?
Ooh, I just remembered one.
What you got?
Michael Jordan, Chaos in the Windy City.
Oh, I heard that one. It was bad too.
Yeah, that was one I'm just like, well, you know, do you know what? I looked at it and I'm like, well, I was a kid and I'm just like, well, I played NBA Jam and I like, you know, I don't really like basketball that much, but I'm like, oh, this looks cool. Take it home, play the first level, get that shit out of my face.
You know.
I just remembered, I'm just like, oh, this is bad. This is really, really bad.
Jeremy, what about?
I guess I probably blocked out some of the actual really bad games, but the one that I remember being disappointed that I picked it over another game was Super Mario Brothers 2 for the NES.
I'm
'Cause, like-
still mad at that game to this day.
Yeah, because I wanted to
Was it
play
like
because
the game?
Super Mario Brothers 3 was out, but I wanted to play 2 first. So that was like a week. I still don't like that game. I might have to do an Adventure of Link on it. Just play it.
I thought it was okay as a kid. I had the Super Mario Brothers, the Super Mario Bros. Collection on Super Nintendo, where they remastered them all. I never finished it, but I finished it. I did 1, 2, and 3 in World a couple years ago, like around the time of the pandemic. I didn't mind it that much. Like I actually like grew to like it as I was older.
Yeah, I think I might give it another shot. But it was just like I just remember like I had the choice between Mario 2 and Mario 3, and I picked Mario 2.
Oh,
that
Mario
week.
3 all fucking day, but like 2's not bad. 2's fine.
Yeah.
I remember getting stuck with that game. So what happened was, I got it when when it came out. Parents got it for me. I had beat it at some point, but then I never played the second one. Not yet, at least. But this kid who went to my school, he lived a couple blocks down from the house. He had it. So, but I didn't really know him that well. So yeah, you have the middleman, close, mutual friend, whatever. Like, hey, PJ, can you tell, your friend, with the Mario 2, I'll let him borrow Mario 3 for it. Sure. So we made the swap. Okay, things are good so far, right? Well, here's the thing. A little bit of time passed. Maybe a couple weeks to a month. And jokingly, when I was hanging out with PJ, I was like, I'm laughing when I say it. So he should have picked up on it, but like he took it real serious. Like I was like, man, listen, like if you don't tell your friend to to give me my game back, I might keep his. And then that next thing it goes back to him, and he kept my Mario 3. I'm like, oh, why did I say that? So I was stuck with it for a while. Then I couldn't beat Wart, so emotional sadness or damage rather. But
Yeah.
man, I was kicking myself. I'm like, why do you just say stupid shit that you're thinking out loud? I was like, oh, bad me moment for sure. Chippendale's Rescue Rangers was another one. that's another problem one I have. There's a couple on my problem list.
I never played.
Like like I don't know. I feel like I have this like disconnect in my head where it's like, okay, you get this really hard, mature adventure game or like action game, right? Like Ninja Gaiden, beat it, no problem. Kids game, can't beat it. I look at myself, I'm like, there's something wrong here.
I remember that game being kind of clunky, control wise.
Yeah.
I think it was a Capcom game too.
It was, yeah. That's back when they were doing the cash cow stuff. Milking that Disney afternoon. We're like, we're just gonna make every cartoon on this list. Did it show up on the Disney afternoon? Yes. Print money. Even Tailspin got one, if I remember correctly. I didn't play it. I was like, why this one?
Tailspin had what? I think it had a Game Gear port too.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, what was the one with Scrooge?
Oh, DuckTales?
Yeah, that game was
I
mad
can't do-
fun, man.
It was, but man, that's in my category of I used to be good at this and now I'm trash now. Yeah, that's definitely one. That's definitely in top
Oh, dude,
3.
it's definitely in there.
Easily.
Yeah.
I was like, what is happening?
And that game had great music. I remember that.
It did. The moon, man. Oh, for me,
Yeah.
just the moon, so great. I could just leave him just standing there and like I'll just let it play.
Y'all ever played Darkwing Duck?
I did for a little bit, like on an emulator,
Mhm.
but like I never owned it when I was younger. It was that one wasn't bad either, but
Which one did you play?
let's see. I had Chippendale, I had DuckTales.
Played on like NES or?
Yeah, both of those when the actual system came out the first time. But Darkwing I didn't get to until later on in life when emulators came out and stuff.
Oh, if I remember correctly, there was a TurboGrafx version and it was awful.
What?
Mhm.
It's the
I believe it.
It's the only like bad TurboGrafx game that like was made. Like it's at the bottom.
Yeah, Angry Video Game Nerd did a video on it.
Yeah, it was rough. All right. Any other classics you guys want to talk? Anything you want you'd like people to go try? Like a lot of games out there that a lot of people have never heard of. And I know Steve likes the Saturn.
I know, but like, man, can I just talk about this for a second?
Go ahead.
Like, LJN for some reason, like that old company, like man, I was going back through on YouTube like last week or the week before because like I was just like thinking about like Fester's Quest for some reason, and like I was like, man, this music actually was really good back then. It had no right to be that good for like a licensed game, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And then like I remember I'm like, Sunsoft did Batman, and that one was great too. Like, oh man, you want some good music? Pop either one of those. But then I found out something. Apparently, like, Fester's Quest uses the same engine as Blaster Master did, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense to me now.
Here's the thing. LJN published games.
Or was it Sunsoft I'm thinking of? It was one of the two.
No, I'm saying LJN published games. They never really, as far as I know, LJN didn't really develop games.
Yeah, it might have been Sunsoft that I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
At that point.
Because a lot of those... I'm sorry, hold on, I'm looking. Go ahead, keep going.
Yeah. Oh, no. I was gonna say. But yeah, like I don't know, like, because you have your like simple like beats, and then you have that, and it's just like, how do you get that on this system and not really anyone else does? Like, where's everyone else trying the same kind of music thing? Because I was always a big like video game music first and then the game later. Like I don't know, I was always one of those people. But
So yeah, LJN did publish games. They published for Atlas, Beam Software, and Rare.
oh wow.
So a lot of those games, a lot of those bad games that you see that are done by LJN, they didn't make them.
You know what one I loved too as a kid? There was two of them. But they weren't like an action game or like a shoot 'em up. California Games and Skate or Die.
Did play Skate or Die.
Oh, they're so good.
California Games? Oh, no. Ugh.
Bad memories.
Oh no, I never played it, but like I watched a couple videos and I watched like JonTron and I'm like, wow, who thought this was a good idea?
And then of course, there's Tecmo Super Bowl because like I can't have a
You just
sports-ish conversation
you
without
just
it.
awoken a bunch of memories. I like totally forgot all about Tecmo Super Bowl until you said something.
Oh man, those
Oh my
cutscenes! Like when I saw
God.
those for the first time, I'm just like, what is happening? It's
Like,
crazy.
I will never care about football for the rest of my life, but that little period in time when I play the hell out of Tecmo Super Bowl, yes.
I'm telling you, like I will gladly turn that on at any point in my life and just happily have some good memories.
Same.
It was a fun game.
They don't make them like they used to.
They really
Oh,
don't.
no.
That's now you gotta wait like an hour when you buy a game just to play it.
And you gotta friggin' install the updates and
Oh.
install it.
Yeah. Oh, here's the day one patch. I'm like, come on, how big is it? Oh no.
Oh yeah, kids were really having fun on Christmas opening their new PlayStations and installing all their
Right.
games.
The night I got my PS4, I couldn't play it because it did updates. I was like so
Oh.
happy. I was like, oh, I want to play a game. Oh, the Division 2 sounds good. You know, because I just needed something to play, and I was like, oh, shooter, whatever. I'll play that. And I didn't end up playing it that night. I had like an hour and a half of free time, and that's what all the updating took. Yeah, and that was my introduction to, I guess, modern gaming because I had a PS3 which I had just got. I'm kind of behind, but yeah, yeah.
Mhm. Better hope the company doesn't get hit with a denial of service attack, or else you're not downloading anything.
Right. It's
Mhm.
just like.
Yeah, day one patches.
Ooh,
I guess.
hate them.
Mm-hmm.
Day one
Oh, we were-
DLC is terrible too.
Oh, absolutely. Don't
Yep.
get me started on that. Atlas.
Day one
Atlas,
DLC
why?
fucking
No.
tilts me.
No, Atlas, no.
Speaking of Atlas, my last question for the night, because I know you guys all play a variety of games. What's your favorite Atlas game? I think I know what Chris's is, but I'd like to know what the other two have to say.
Oh, you gotta put me in the spot like that.
Because I think I know what your favorite Atlas game is, but I'm not 100% sure, and I think it's a good discussion, because Atlas makes some pretty solid fucking games.
They do.
I just, don't play Go-Go Hypergrind. That's, oh.
I mean, they make a lot of boneheaded. They're like a company that makes good stuff, good
Like,
products that makes a lot of boneheaded decisions.
Go-Go Hypergrind is such a cool idea, but then you play it, and you're like, yeah, this fucking sucks.
Yeah, I want to hear what you guys have to say.
I don't have a whole lot of experience with them, unfortunately. Like I owned the first Persona. The second one got stolen from me before I could do anything, so that ended that. Yeah, I played Arena, of course. Catherine was the one I really spent a lot of time into. Recently, at least. And oh wait, no, you know what? Now that I'm staring at it, Groove on Fight. I forgot they made that too.
Nice.
That was the most fun but ridiculousness. Like the first time I went through that game, I'm like, wait, you can pick up your down teammate and throw them at somebody. And I found out, I was like, oh yeah, it's part of the whole match or melee, series. I'm like, oh, that game was fun too. No wonder why this is like out there and hilarious.
Forgot all
Groove
about
on Fight.
Master Melee until you said something.
Oh my god.
I used to main Poochie. Like, I didn't care. I was like, this guy's in a dog costume. I don't know why this is happening. I'm using him.
So they dropped the reference to Groove on Fight. The pro tag in P1 is actually playing Groove on Fight.
Oh, nice. It was definitely one of my happier Saturn purchases.
I was
I
gonna
started
say
collecting.
that's a Saturn game, right? I was gonna ask.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's on Saturn.
I have to
I was
fire,
like, how did
I
they
have to
even
fire
miss out
that
on
up
that?
on my not modded Saturn.
Not at all.
Not in the slightest. It totally doesn't sit in my store. Cough.
Right?
Can't afford half that shit, man.
Oh, I know. Like the American versions of everything are just ridiculous now. So like I'm still just picking the Japanese ones when possible.
Jeremy, what about you?
Well, I had to look up because the only game I recognized from Atlas was Persona. I tried playing Persona 3 a while ago and just couldn't get into it. But apparently, and I should have known this, but Dodonpachi
Mhm.
is an Atlas game. As
Oh.
yeah, as well as what was the other one that was really good? It was from the NES. River City Ransom, was that an Atlas game? I can't remember. Thought I saw it. on the
No,
list.
American Technos, but didn't they
Oh, okay.
change? I thought they had changed into somebody else at one point.
I know River City now is Way Forward.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll have to go right for the shmup. I do want to give like Shin Megami Tensei, like those games another try. I think it was just Persona 3 was just not for me. So maybe a more modern one might be better for me.
What didn't you like about P3?
It just got repetitive, and I did not necessarily care for the high school simulation part of it. And then I always had that feeling like, did I do the wrong thing? Did I miss something? Am I going to get to essentially like the Sephiroth thing, where am I going to get to the end of the game and I didn't do XYZ right because you have like a definitive timeline? Like you do stuff this day and you decide to either study, go grind a dungeon, or go to bed early. Like there's like all those decisions to make, and I'm like, am I setting myself up to have a really bad experience at the end game? And it just got repetitive. Like the dungeons all look the same to me.
I have the biggest shit-eating grin on my face right now when I'm rubbing my hands. I have a lot. I have some recommendations for you.
Okay.
Hit him with the
Listening.
recommendations.
I was gonna say I'm listening.
Oh, okay. I thought. Okay. Because I'm just like.
Drop the hotness.
Well, the thing
Drop the
is,
mixtape.
P3, P4, and P5 heavily are like partial school dating systems, and then you fight after school and go in the dungeons and stuff like that.
Mhm.
So, Persona, I mean, a lot of the Atlas games, being realistic here, their dungeons are kind of, to be honest with you. I know P3 and P4 they were the worst. I consider P4 to be actually worse because it's just, let's just do what we did with Tartarus, but break it off into 7 different dungeons, and then they're all like randomly generated floors. So, I mean, if you want to play Shin Megami Tensei, Persona's different. It's the spinoff that became the more popular version. You know Rayman,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you know what happened with Rabbids and how Rabbids somehow got popular out of nowhere.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the same thing that happened. Persona just got incredibly popular with like P4 and all the spin-offs, Persona 4 Arena and the anime and stuff, so that's what happened with that. So if you want to get an SMT, my recommendations that you can like go at the store and get right now are Nocturne, SMT3, or SMT5.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking because I really liked. They weren't the guy. Whatever those things were that you collected like Pokemon. Because I like doing that and breeding them and that kind of that part I enjoyed.
Yeah. Oh, that comes in SMT in spades. Like that is the whole point of the game.
Yeah, and I was thinking like a more recent game would have more creature comforts, I guess you could say, for somebody who only has like an hour to play, maybe.
They're demons. They're, gods and demons. In Persona, they're called personas because like that's how you summon them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, definitely SMT3 Nocturne or SMT5. There's definitely others. So like if you want to like emulate them, a lot of the old Atlas RPGs were never officially translated in English because they were never imported to the States.
Right.
Because about that time, SMT1 came out in 1992. That game has a lot of religious symbolism and death and murder and all that. Like it's Apocalypse. So Nintendo wasn't cool on that coming to the US. So that never happened. Which I'm surprised they made a Sega CD version of that game. I'm actually surprised that never came over. And it was eventually ported to PlayStation. I guess they just didn't think it was worth it at that point. But I digress. But yeah, a bunch of those SMT 1 and 2, which aren't like, they're sequels, but they're not like direct sequels. You don't really know when it happens in 1 to play 2, but I recommend playing 1. I played that a couple years ago, and I absolutely loved it.
Yeah,
good old school dungeon crawling. You're gonna need a
walkthrough
because that gets a little confusing.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, definitely SMT because it just looked like something I would like. It looked like because I just don't like the. Does it do like the same timeline thing where like you have to do stuff in a day? Or
no, that is just
good.
Persona. That's just Persona.
Oh,
that is just Persona 3 through 5. It's like the calendar system thing, You get up, you go to school, and then you gotta pick what you do and all that stuff. And a lot of that, like, that stuff's not tied to the plot. It's more so for like, I want to say like how you can customize and get more powerful, essentially. What you have to do, you have to do. But if you have the choice, then you doesn't really make it mandatory. Whereas in SMT, mainline games, you make choices based on your alignment. So there's 3 different alignments. There's Law, Chaos, and Neutral. Law, you side with, God. Chaos, you side with, Lucifer and all that. And then Neutrals, you side with the humans. And the different games, your choices will, dictate that path you go on. And it affects the ending. So, like, the ending can be whatever you want it to be based on how you feel as a person. Like, you have someone and you're like, should I kill them? Or should I save them? Do I like keep them so I can like get the info I need or do the right thing, or should I just off the guy because he's a prick? Stuff like that. Like actual like honest to God, like, what would you do in the situation? And like that's a choice. Nocturne changes it up where there's different alignments that are not the law and chaos thing. It's based on like different ideologies. It's the same thing, but it's just spun around differently. And if you're gonna get Nocturne, don't get it on Switch.
Okay.
Because they did not port that game well. There was a lot of bugs, not bugs, but like a lot of slowdown, a lot of like frame rate issues.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you can get on PlayStation or PC, I recommend that. If you can only get it on Switch, then it is what it is. But SMT5 is only on Switch, so obviously that's that.
Is 5 play fine?
5 plays very well. 5 is more open world.
Okay.
And like it's linear, but you have the ability to explore.
Oh, okay. I'll have to put 5 on my list then, because I like the portableness of the Switch.
Yeah, I highly recommend 5.
All right, thank you.
All right, let's wrap it up with Chris. What's your favorite Atlas game?
Okay, I want you to guess.
Persona 2.
No.
I was gonna
It's
say
close.
that, or SMT 3.
SMT4.
4. I was close.
4 is godlike. That game is amazing. But it is far from perfect. I
had a
just
feeling
love...
it was. I was gonna go Persona 2, SMT 3, SMT 4, and if it wasn't 4, I was just gonna shoot it out and be like, I don't know, man, fucking Persona 1.
1 is... 1 is weird. Because you can't play the definitive version of that game unless you speak Japanese.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talked about this before.
Yeah.
Frustrating.
But they're working on that. They're trying to fan translate that one, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, it's SMT4. I mean the game has issues, balancing issues. Yeah, Smirk is overpowered. The game only has 2 save. You only have 2 save files in that game. For some ungodly reason.
Hmm.
But like, I really like the characters. I love the grunge. I love how grungy everything is. Some of the designs like don't hit as hard. Like they're not. I wouldn't say some of the designs are not that good. But just I love the battle system so much. It's like if you love Nocturne, it just ups it to 10. And while Smirk is busted, it can really work in your favor of how busted it is. Because like the final boss, I was doing like over 3,000 damage per interaction with my main character. Because there's Smirk and just buff and just punch him.
Nice.
So yeah, for a few different reasons, it's 4.
I expected it to be one of the 4 that I listed. I was like,
Yeah.
It's one of those 4. I know. If I say Persona 4, he'll kill me.
And Persona 4 was my first game. It's good. Like it's really good and
not bad.
deserves
It's
a lot
a
of
good
praise. Yeah, no, it's a good game. It's just I feel like it's the game that everyone loves because they don't play the other ones.
I agree. Trust me, it happens in
Um,
the shop all the time.
P2, favorite story, favorite characters. The gameplay is actually kind of mid.
Oh, I'll agree, yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of wish that we'd, get a remake,
Yeah.
but,
I would too. Now, story and characters, 10 out of 10. Absolutely. And
definitely.
then Nocturne is amazing. It doesn't have like the high highs of the other 2 that I really like. Whereas Nocturne is completely solid. The mechanics don't entice me as much as 4, and the story is nowhere near as good as P2. So
Fair enough. Well, that's all the time we have for tonight. Thank you guys for coming on.
Yeah, it was fun.
Been
Yeah.
Always is.
generating new ideas. One last question. Out of the 3 characters shown today for Street Fighter 6, what one are you most excited for? Just because we aren't going to be able to talk about Capcom Cup, but let's talk about Street Fighter 6 for a few seconds.
sorry.
I'm excited for Lily. I
Um,
think she looks sick. I can't wait to try to beat people up with that
I
character.
don't know.
I was looking. I was like, I couldn't tell what she had in her hands. I'm like, what is that?
I couldn't either, but I was
I
like,
forgot what they're called. They're like,
Rick knows. He said it before.
yeah.
I
they're
mean,
like-
she looks wild.
I
Like,
can't wait, dude. I'm
regardless,
so
either way.
fucking excited.
Oh, they might have.
I was like, she's gonna piss some people off
Oh,
day
you
one.
know
All
it.
this,
It just
all the
says-
spins and dive spins and.
They're weapons. I forgot what the names are called, but the PlayStation Blog says they're like 2 war clubs. I forgot what they're called. But yeah, she's just a little T-Hawk that
I'm
flies around and
excited.
then just grabs you, and she does the Raging Typhoon.
I'm excited. What I wanted.
Geef looks awesome. Cammy looks amazing. It's just, I don't know. I honestly don't know.
That's fair. Everybody knows I'm excited for Lily. I've been waiting
Yeah.
for quite some fucking time to see the character, and I am super excited. Move over, Jury. Lily's the choice.
Yeah, I was gonna say Lily for me.
Jury will become the new pocket character. Unless Lily sucks, but I highly doubt that's gonna happen. She looked like a ton of bullshit. The soup, like when she did the whole like spinning top, I was like, what's going on? She had Condor dive.
You did?
Can't wait. So, but again, everybody's baffled by that question. No one today has given me an answer. I've asked a few people and no one can answer that question. I don't blame them because all three of them actually looked pretty goddamn sick. Although I don't know how Geef's gonna play. I didn't see Green Hand, so I'm kind of disappointed to be honest.
The blog doesn't say anything about Green Hand.
So I just like after playing the beta, like how the hell is he gonna get in? But it's Street Fighter 6, and I'm pretty sure there's a way.
Drive Impact, Drive Rush.
Yeah.
Just force your way in.
So they really want you to use the meter, man. It's insane.
I like that because there's a
Me too.
downside to it.
Get greedy, get fucked.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like you ever read like the old Yu-Gi-Oh manga?
I read
No.
like, bits and pieces of it.
One of the guys you might know what I'm talking about. In like the very like early chapters in the very beginning, Yugi was just a psycho and just would challenge
Yeah.
people to like death games and stuff.
Yeah.
So one of them was he had this bully that was like trying to like extort him for money. So the game was essentially he just pulls out a stack of hundreds or whatever because it's yen, not dollars. And the game is you put the money in your hands and you have it. He took a knife out. He was like, "Here's the knife," and you have to stab your hand. You stab the money on your hand, and the trick is that you try to whatever you stab, you get. So you don't want to stab too hard, or else you stab yourself in the hand. And then the whole thing is that like because it's cursed and whatnot. So the guy's like, "Oh, I'm gonna stab my hand because I'm too greedy. So I'm gonna stab Yugi." Yugi gets out of the way, deals with him, whatever. That's kind of how I see the drive system, is that you want to burn it, but if you burn too much, you stab yourself. And you screw yourself over. But, like, you're enticed, you're encouraged to spend it. Did that make any sense?
Oh yeah, it did. It's like management. It's like to me, it reminds me of like when the first Art of Fighting came out, and like you found out you had a bar on that one. You had to actually management. Yeah, do management for that one. Like some things I just shouldn't do right now. You reminded me. Yeah, like it was like a similar feeling to me when I saw that the first time. Like, oh yeah, this should be interesting because some people don't. Some people don't pay attention to all that. They're just gonna go rawr, and it's like, no, you shouldn't go rawr. you
But
need to
should,
think a
though.
little bit. Yeah.
All right. Fun. I can't wait. It's gonna be a fun game.
It is. It
Y'all
is.
better play
Definitely
too.
looking forward to it.
So, real quick, events coming up. Saturday is Winter War 4 from Syracuse Sucker Punch, the monthly. I believe we're doing Guilty Gear Strive as the main game, KI and Tekken are side games.
Mhm.
Yep, you'll see me there for the Yekin.
I also have a
I'll be there.
small JoJo All-Star Battle R bracket that we couldn't do online because the game doesn't have fucking lobbies. So
Ew.
we're gonna do it after in person, and it's only 4 people, and it should be pretty fucking hype.
Cool.
'Cause
Yeah,
they're
fuck it.
excited.
I've
They're
never played
excited,
it.
man.
This should be fun.
It's fucking Piffy. It was Piffy's idea. Like, I want a JoJo bracket, and I'm like, you get me players, and we'll do it. He did it, so we're gonna have a little JoJo single elimination bracket. And then Sunday, Attack from All Sides, Kangaskhan down at 3 Lives. I believe it's the Tekken ladder, but I know they've been bringing other games now. I heard last week there was like Blaze Blue and some other stuff.
Oh, we just bring whatever.
And then KI, I'll be doing a little KI exhibition that night as well. And then next week, the round table, we'll have a special round table with Chris again here, and Jeremy Ladon is going to come on. Have a special talk about a topic within fighting games with everybody. Gonna be interesting, you should tune in. And then that Sunday's my birthday, and that's why we're playing Marvel 3 at 3 Lives, so get ready.
Oh.
I don't remember how to play that game, but I'm gonna try. I believe,
So,
I
not,
believe Cats
so
is
not,
gonna
not,
bring
not
the
this
Mixer
weekend,
with
but
Marvel
next
2
weekend
on
then,
it.
right? What would
Next
that
weekend,
be? Hold
yep.
on.
It's a Sunday night,
Oh, the 26th?
the 5th.
The 5th.
Next
Okay,
week.
got it. Okay. I'll pop by. For sure.
I get out at 6, so I'll be down there at like 6:30, and Rick's gonna go with me, so Rick will be there.
Hell yeah, I'll come
So-
see you guys for that.
Hopefully Chris
Good
can
luck.
come and bring Third Strike.
Well, I mean, if everyone's playing, we're running a Marvel bracket, then
Yeah,
It's gonna be a long. Yeah.
it's gonna be fine. It'll be good. It'll be fun. I just
I
don't remember
know.
how to play Marvel 3.
I don't either. Like,
Oh.
and I've been looking at those mods they've been doing, and I'm like, I would love to. And then like there's that part of me that's just like, you know how much work that's gonna take, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm old. But I appreciate everything the modders are doing right now. I'll put it like that.
Conan, I heard you guys were playing Marvel 2, and I probably should have just drove my ass down there, but I didn't.
bro, I was,
I fucking
I got
love
loud. I got loud playing
Dude,
Marvel
2
2.
brings out like the beast in people. It's nuts.
It does.
I think I scared the normal people there.
Specifically 2. Like 3 can get hype, but 2 just fucking brings everybody like.
Oh no,
out.
me and Yanni were like yelling, but I was like yelling loud, and I cursed, and I said the F word out like loud in the
Fucking-
bar.
Fucking Iron Man puts you in the toaster, and the fucking dude. I love fucking Marvel 2. So, but that is the plans for the next 2 weeks. Thank you again, guys, for coming on. It was good hearing from. I see Chris more, but haven't heard from Mr. Gatekeeper Steve or Girodes here in a while, and I'm happy they could make it tonight.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
glad I could do it.
I'm
Oh,
happy.
yep, it was definitely fun.
Happy Chris is
Some
going
of you
to
guys
come
might
on
see me Sunday.
next
or
week
Saturday.
with other Jeremy. Talk about neutral in fighting games
Oh,
and why it's important.
Mhm.
So until then, there might not be a stream Saturday for Winter War if it's like the weather is acting up. I'm not looking all my
Oh yeah,
shit.
like that stupid ass ice storm.
Yeah,
last
like, I'm
Oh
not-
wait, there's
It
something
took
going
me
on
so long to
Saturday.
get rid of
Yeah,
that.
Winter War 4 at the shop. But I'm not
Oh, no.
going. There might not be a stream because I'm not gonna lug my shit through the ice storm or snowstorm.
Oh, if there's a storm, I'm not gonna
Um,
probably not gonna be able to make it.
People already have been notified of that. There will be no stream for this Saturday. We will probably just record the grand finals and losers finals of the matches with the whatever that little red capture card thing that we have, and I'll upload them to YouTube so people can see them. But yeah, they're doing Guilty Gear, Tekken, and Killer Instinct, and then that JoJo bracket. Yeah, it's,
I mean,
the weather, it's like up in the air. Like today, it started just like raining out of nowhere over here.
Friday through
and-
Wednesday AM.
And
Ugh.
everything just turned to ice, and I was pissed because I had to drive home through it.
Ugh.
Let me see.
2 nights in a row driving through fucking garbage. Can't wait to make it 3. Last night was way worse though. That was bad.
Yeah,
that's
it
what-
was absolutely ridiculous.
Like it trumps any snowstorm we've had this year and so far, and like last year. The last night was just
A 10-day forecast.
But
Oh, go away.
there might be snow. Well, I know it's gonna snow tomorrow in the morning, and then it's gonna just be cold as shit. And then Saturday there's like a chance of snow, but I don't. Who knows how true that is? We're upstate New York. It could be fucking sunny and raining for all we know.
Oh no, occasional snow. Oh, so Saturday's fine.
And
Right?
I'm not sure what the weather is gonna be like on Sunday.
Sunday's not that bad.
But you do come out, drive safe. Don't be dumb. Don't be like
Yeah.
me.
Definitely.
Oh yeah, I was worried that the storm was like Saturday. I'm like, well, if the storm's Saturday, I'm not
No.
gonna be able to make it.
It's
then I'll be
Saturday is
fine.
supposed to be like on and off-ish. Nothing brutal. It's just gonna be cold.
Oh, then that's fine. I'll be
Oh.
fine for Saturday.
But be fun.
Yep, I agree.
Like I said, just don't be
Agreed.
dumb. If it's snowing that bad, don't be dumb. Make it to the next event. Plenty more. So, alrighty. Have a good night, everybody. And
You too. It was fun.
I'll see you
Yep.
Saturday or Sunday, whichever day comes first, and it's not raining outside and snowing and ice and whatever.
Right? If it's behaving somewhat.
Yeah.
I got 4-wheel drive, so more likely you might see me anyway, regardless.
Ew.
Like, but definitely if it's not, we'll play like that.
Alrighty. Have a good night, everybody.
Yep.
You
Good night.
too. Good night.